everyone, my name is Evie Lupine. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another video for you all. I have actually been sick for the last 2 weeks. You might still be able to hear it a little bit in my voice, so I have been unable to film. It has been driving me crazy. Now, I am a paranoid YouTuber because now 3 years in a row I have had bronchitis every single summer, so I always make sure to do a little bit in advance just in case something like this happens, so there isn't going to be any kind of like a break in content, but there has been a break for me, and so I'm kind of trying to get back into it a little bit, and the way that I thought I would do that is by pursuing an idea that I've had for a little while, just for like sort of a fun and interesting sort of get to know me video, and that would be asking me my top 3. Now, this channel is BDSM focused, so there's definitely going to be some kink questions in there. However, I know some of you as well just want to like get to know me as a person, so I am going to do a mix of both of those questions. I asked you guys on Twitter and Instagram for the top 3 things that you want to know about me. So in the future, if you want to participate in that, check out the links down in the description box below if you want to follow me on my social media, because that's where I get the resources to do these videos from. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start over on Instagram. All right, now this one was really funny. This is actually the most common question I was asked, which was surprising. A lot of you guys wanted to know my top 3 favorite snacks. I guess I seem like a snacky sort of person, but my top 3 favorite snacks would be Primal Strips, which are a vegan meat substitute jerky, which is amazing. It comes in a lot of different flavors. I particularly like the mesquite lime. That's my go-to. I also really like dried mango. I am particular about the dried mango though, not just from anywhere. I like the kind of juicy, soft mango, but not the added sugar kind. There's a particular brand that I used to get from Costco back when I worked in Vanilla World they don't have access to anymore, that is like Green Paradise or something. I really like their particular style of dried mango. And then my last favorite go-to snack would probably be just like peanut butter. There is a brand that's called CB's Nuts, and they make like a crunchy flavor that's like halfway between creamy and crunchy peanut butter. So like whether or not you like both, everybody gets to be equally mad about it, I guess. So I really like that. It's super flavorful, and I will literally just sometimes like grab a spoon and have some because it's my own personal peanut butter, and it's super good. All right, the next one is top 3 Shibari knots. Now, I'm going to assume what the person meant by this was my favorite 3 Shibari ties, because especially if you are doing Shibari, there's not really a lot of knots in particular that you need to know. There's kind of like a core handful, but other than that, the main structures are kind of variations in how you combine these things, as well as frictions, hitches, all those sorts of concepts I'm not going to get into right now. But my favorite ties to be in would definitely be an agura, which is a cross-legged tie, usually with a waist rope component added as well. That is one of my favorites. I also really like futomomos. There are a lot of variations on futomomos as well, so those are fun. And then my last favorite one would probably just be like rope in my mouth and or like freestyle rope. I know that's not exactly a particular tie, but I do like stuff that is less formal, a little bit more free-flowing, something that's going to be unique every time you have that experience, because for me, at least when I do bondage, there is sometimes comfort in like knowing exactly what's going to happen, but then when it's the same tie in the same order with the same transitions or very minute variations on that, that gets kind of boring to me. And being able to play and have freestyle elements is amazing. One of my favorite things about getting to do kink. All right, next one is top 3 favorite animes. Now, one of the things that I told myself I was gonna do when I started doing YouTube full time is that I was gonna start watching anime more, and that hasn't really happened. So actually, if you guys have any suggestions for anime that I should watch that has been the last like 2 years, Let me know down in the comment section below. I would say probably my favorite ones that I have actually seen all the way through so far would be, of course, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That was the first manga I ever read. That was like way back in middle school, and so that's a classic to me, like for now and for always. I also really enjoy Log Horizon. That's a really great show. Like if you kind of like Sword Art Online but then like realized it was trash, like Log Horizon is a very similar idea but executed much more thoughtfully. And then my last favorite one would be Psycho-Pass. Ooh, this is a hard one. Psycho-Pass, but also Spice and Wolf, very like completely different genres. So like fantasy wise, Spice and Wolf, love that. The fact that it's never been continued will always irk me. But then Psycho-Pass season 1 in particular is also very, very good. So those are my current favorite top anime. Alright, the next one is top 3 favorite latex brands. Now, these are definitely going to be higher end latex brands. I love their designs because they are literally designed like couture fashion. It's not just something that's off the rack. Now, if you're looking for more like suggestions for widely available latex that's easier to get a hold of, in Canada there's a brand called Polymorph, and then over in the UK there's a brand called Libidex. The majority of my pieces that I actually own are from there, but my favorite 3 designers that I wish I could afford to own pieces from would be Atsuko Kudo and William Wilde, and then Lacing Lilith. They all, again, they have a very couture sort of design to them. I think like Rihanna has owned a couple pieces from Atsuko Kudo. Like, I just love looking at their Instagram pages. One day I will be able to get some of their samples and I will own some latex from them. Next question is, what are my top 3 favorite YouTubers? Being a YouTuber myself, I am a little bit biased here, but I also watch a lot of YouTubers, so it's really, really hard to pick like an actual like solid like top 3 YouTubers. So I'm gonna like leave out the ones that are a little bit more on the political side of things, because like I don't like necessarily want to get into that on this channel. The one that's my favorite that I've been watching consistently for the longest is Simon and Martina. They are an absolutely adorable couple. Like I love their energy. I love the way that they build each other up. Like I don't really have like a hashtag relationships goal sort of thing, but like if I did, Simon and Martina would be those people. My favorite makeup YouTuber would be Heather Morehouse. I think Heather's work is greatly underappreciated on YouTube. I love the way that they put looks together. I love the way that they combine colors. I love when they review products. Like if I'm ever like, oh, I don't know what to do with my makeup today, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check out Heather's channel. Like, and especially when it comes to reviewing new palettes and talking about the usability of things, love what Heather has done with their channel. It's really hard to pick. I would probably say either Lindsay Ellis or Dan Olsen, but I'm going to give it to Dan Olsen because I, in particular, really appreciate his videos where he's talked about the 50 Shades of Grey movies, because he's also gone into the books and comparing them, and I think that's wonderful information to have, particularly when it comes to, like, somebody who is very accessible to, like, a vanilla audience, and then educating them a little bit about BDSM at the same time and the inaccuracies in that, I really, really appreciate. All right, the next question is my top 3 favorite makeup brands. I would probably say NYX. I love their products. I have purchased so many things from them, particularly in terms of eyeshadows, eyeliner. That's my go-to for them. I would say ColourPop for their eyeshadows and their liquid lips. Like, if you guys are ever like, oh my god, Evie, like what lipstick are you wearing? It is from ColourPop. Right now I am wearing, I think, And Chill is the name of this color. I'm probably wrong about that, but that is my favorite from them. And then Viseart is my go-to for eyeshadow palettes. So again, if you guys ever like, Evie, what's on your eyes? It's probably Viseart. I am definitely a little bit of a brand loyalist, but I also don't really collect makeup, so the things that I do buy tend to be concentrated in a very few small number of brands. All right, next one is my top 3 favorite impact toys. This one is really hard. I would probably have to say my favorites would be a sock filled with loose change, a pair of like weighted like boxing, like MMA gloves. Like I really just like fists by themselves, but also having the gloves on top of it adds a nice extra component to it. And then there is one toy that I have that's called a Thuddy Buddy. And unfortunately, the designer who made that toy is no longer in business due to an ongoing battle with cancer. So unfortunately, they're not produced anymore. Sorry, guys. But it's basically like a steel core and then foam and then leather, like a vegan marine leather thing. And it's so good. It is a deep, deep, deep thuddy impact, but it's not cold. Because typically with like if you want deep thud, you're gonna have to go for just like straight up like metal, and this is just the best of like all possible worlds, and it's a great toy. Love it. I wish that they were still around and they could still make these toys because I would absolutely recommend them to you guys. All right, the next one is of course my favorite music slash favorite bands slash favorite songs. Now there's no way I could ever pick my top 3 favorite songs. There's just way too many, so I'm gonna go with bands instead. And my top 3 favorite bands would be Motionless in White, love them. Next would probably be, see this is hard because I have to narrow it down to like only 3. This is one of those really, really hard questions, and it's silly because it's only just like bands and music, but I feel like whatever I pick is like very vitally important to like understanding me as a human being. So I'd probably also say that my next top favorite band would be maybe the Sisters of Mercy, or I mean, there's so many to pick from, and it's really hard. But just general goth music, I guess. Let's say that, like goth and goth revival music. Let's just narrow it down that way. And then my last one for a complete curveball is somebody whose music I have not been able to get out of my head for the last like 2 weeks, and that is Megan Thee Stallion. So completely the opposite kind of music of the previous two. But Mr. Tex really enjoys like rap music, and so he kind of just by being in proximity to the music that he listens to, I got introduced to like Kendrick Lamar and Chance the Rapper and now Megan Thee Stallion, and I love how badass her music makes me feel. Like it's very danceable. It's very like, again, it's like a completely different listening experience to anything else, but it's nice to have that variety. It's nice to have that sort of counterpoint. All right, next one is what are my top 3 pieces of gear? Gear is kind of vague, so I don't know if this is referring to pet play gear or impact play equipment or kink stuff in general. And I did kind of already go over impact play toys, so I'm going to exclude that. So my favorite BDSM equipment that I own, pretty much all of it is bondage gear. My favorite pair of restraints are from House of Wolfram. There are these amazing adjustable cuffs that basically fit really nicely onto a bunch of wrist sizes without having like all this extra like leather strap hanging out at the end. I hate that so much. Actually, I do also have a review and a try-on of those cuffs because they're also amazing for brats over on my Patreon. Unfortunately, I can't really do like a full demo on that kind of thing on YouTube, so that's why it's over on Patreon because I don't want to get my channel deleted. My favorite sort of unusual piece of kink equipment is this little nose hook that Mr. Tex has. Don't ask me where it's from. He got it in the Netherlands like years and years ago. They don't make it anymore, but it's a nose hook. It's great. It just, it pulls right here. And I know all of y'all with septums right now are like, oh my god, Evie, why? But sometimes kinks, that don't make sense. And then my last favorite piece of equipment that I own would probably be one of my sensory deprivation hoods. I have one in particular that is from somewhere on Etsy. I can't remember where. I'll put a picture of it on the screen probably. But it covers the nose and the eyes, but then it has an open mouth around it, so you can put a gag in there or other things in there, or just be able to breathe openly and normally. I really enjoy that in particular. It's so fun to layer with things. That's also very versatile. So that is my answer to that question. Okay, ooh, this is an interesting one. So somebody wanted to know my top 3 favorite textures slash fabrics. I am very much a texture person. Like I love texture and temperature, like all of that combined, like that really goes into a lot of my kinks. So I'd probably say, as you can see behind me, there are examples of 2 of my favorite textures slash sensations slash materials. So there is leather on this couch, and then this is like faux fur. The faux fur has gotten very realistic, like it's almost kind of freaky. Like, I mean, I don't really have a lot to compare it to because, like, it's not like I got money to spend on a real sheepskin rug. But, like, it feels so real and it's so soft and it's so amazing. And then probably my last... there's so many, like, different good textures. I would say probably in a kink context. I mean, and these definitely also in a kink context, don't get me wrong. My last favorite texture would probably be... like if I have to like kneel on something, would probably be like maybe like sandpapery or like smooth stones or something like that. That's also a really good like textures. I don't know. I also really just like regular sand is also good, or like really nice like leaves that have like a lot of texture in them. Ooh, just carpet. Like carpet in general is really awesome. I'm a texture whore, I'll admit it. And now you guys have that information about me. All right, now the last one I'm gonna end on here is gonna be my top 3 favorite fashion brands slash fashion looks and aesthetics. I would say number 1 without a doubt is lip service. I am very much like a 90s goth kind of person. I don't always dress like that in my videos because like, I don't got time for that. I already gotta do all this makeup. I don't want to have to spend 3 hours getting ready to film videos. So I really, really love lip service. I love all of their classic stuff. Like I hunt on like used clothing websites specifically for lip service things, like all of the time. Like that's like number 1 place I get things from in general actually is like from resale websites of things like Mercari or Poshmark. Like I love going on there. I love looking for like old demonias and old lip service items, or old just in general, like even like trip, but in general just like things that don't really exist anymore. I love going on those websites and shopping for them. Another one of my favorite brands, completely different aesthetic, is Trashy Diva. They are a kind of retro revival design company that's based out of New Orleans, and I own a couple of dresses from them. I really like wearing those for formal occasions because they make things that I think are pretty goth compatible. Like I have one dress from them that is really, really flattering, like true new look Dior style dress, like literally like vintage reproduction from those styles of patterns dress with a big pussy bow on the front, because that's what it's called. That's what it's called. And also combining that with like a corset or like a really pretty like drippy beaded shawl and like a headpiece. Oh, it looks so good. I love it. It's a very like, I'm halfway between like Dita Von Teese and something else. I'm halfway between Dita Von Teese and the way that I normally dress, basically. Love their stuff. And then in terms of indie brands that I like, I actually want to give a shout out to 2, because I'm just going to say indie brands is my 3rd favorite. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I've done a lot of that in this video. I apologize. I really like Shop Mel Noir. I have a lot of pieces from them. I don't like their recent stuff as much. I like some of their older designs that are a little bit more simplistic. I think some of their more recent stuff just has like too much going on, and I'm not necessarily somebody who likes a lot of accessorizing and extra details. I like a very straightforward kind of look. And then as well, I also really like another shop on Etsy that is called Stockholm's Child. I also have a lot of pieces from them. I don't think I've worn them in a lot of videos before, but they also make really interesting and cool stuff. So if you like kind of my aesthetic, those are some places that you can check out. All right, thank you guys so much for asking these questions. This was really fun. If you guys want me to do this in another video and do it in a more like themed way as opposed to like a little bit all over the place, like let me know. I would love to do that. There were so many questions I couldn't get to. I literally had this post up for like 2 hours before I started filming and getting ready for this, and like I had probably over 100 questions. So if I want to do this again, we'll do this again. Let me know down in the comment section below. Any other ideas, thoughts, suggestions, you can also leave that down in the comment section below. If you like this video, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I make videos twice a week. Also, apparently YouTube is now doing the thing where it stops recommending my videos to people who are subscribed. So if you really want to make sure you catch stuff, do tap that notification bell. Make sure you have that turned on because that'll also tell you when I do live streams, which are every Friday, currently at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And finally, if you really enjoyed this, if you want to see some of the content that I can't post here on YouTube, things like extra videos, photo shoots, a Discord chat, FetLife, all of that is over on Patreon. That is what makes this channel possible. So if you haven't already checked it out, please do. Link to that will also be down in the description box below. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.